Only the best smelling one is missing.
Good guess.
And we have to toast it. Mommy?
Now we on.
Yeah? Okay, let's go. In 3,
2,
1.
Show you something new. Wine like my palms are loose. Looking fly while I'm under you. Get you high like a ganja do. Ganja do. Baby, I'm a puff for two. Now you make my fly in my altitude. Like birds in the sky, we came out the blue. Let me show you something new. Show you something new. Baby, show you something new.
Sir! We told you guys we'd be back. I saw the comments. I saw you guys in the comment section like, nah, they're gonna disappear again.
Guys, have faith in
We're here. Come on. You know, I just started off. Let's go.
John.
The adverts. Finish. Also, YouTube.
Yo, they just want you to go to YouTube Premium, isn't it?
If you don't know, this one is called Service. This is one of the first Rick Jade singles
Yes, sir.
on the New Africa project. It is out. You can go get it, download it for free, or you can purchase it.
Service. Hey,
You need some recession.
Hey.
Don't got no connection. No, your network need connecting. You so nervous. Nervous. Well, you see you stressing. That ain't good. We see you sweating. And your network needs protecting. You need service. Service. You need some instructions. Nervous. That ain't drip. We see you sweating.
Hey.
Service. Don't got no connection.
Nervous.
Oh boy, we see you sweating.
Hey, ha, ho.
I just reached my milestone. Yes, sir. We are back,
Yes,
like
we
we
are.
promised. And as you can see, we have our baby girl here with us. What? We are back. Welcome to our channel. If you're new to this channel, the channel was called
Welcome.
Muloi. And I am Ricardo Muloi.
Yes,
This is
sir.
my beautiful wife.
I am. I'm Bontle Muloi, and this is our beautiful little princess, Africa Muloi.
Africa. What's up, girl? Can I tell you, just like on a side note, like some people are discovering me for the first time from watching this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And some people are discovering us for the first time from our daughter. I know people who didn't know who I was
Yeah, me too.
and followed her on Instagram, and because, you know, we're tagged in her bio, like,
As her parents.
you know, as the parents, and then that's how they found me. Like, oh, yo, because I've had people who come up to me like, yo, I didn't know who you were, but your daughter's so cute, and I follow you and your daughter, or I followed your daughter, and because of your daughter, now I'm following you, because I wanted to know who her parents were, and here we are. And she's joining us today.
Come up, Hondo.
Come up, hun.
Okay, so she's very playful. She's at a point in her life where we just leave her to do whatever she wants to do because the girl is a big girl, and it's insane that we are parents, and she has made us the happiest parents ever.
Ever. Such a sweetheart. She just turned a year old. She's full of life. So we're going to try and make this short. I know I said it last week also. You guys were like, I'm pretty said we're going to try and make this short. Next thing, we're on 27 minutes. But genuinely, we're not going to make this one long. We're out with our baby girl, and like we need to try and do this for as long as she is patient with us.
Yes.
So, and on the topic of parenting,
Yes. So, you know, obviously we take into account the stuff that you guys say to us in our comment section or in our DMs or wherever else that you're able to reach us. And so one thing that we realized that people really wanted us to speak on was us being parents, but mostly the relationship that we had with our parents and how our parents kind of featured in our lives. So from the beginning and, you know, kind of bringing us to this point. I guess
in the beginning of our relationship.
in the beginning of our relationships, because you know, I mean, obviously we live in a time as Batuabantu, well, as a black person, either come from a home where you know that's a boyfriend and girlfriend, you must forget there's no such thing, and it's not anything that is welcomed, or you come from the type of homes, there we go, or you come from the type of homes that we came from, that had parents who led with absolute embrace. But we'll speak on it and, you know, just kind of how we established relationships with each of our parents, and how that facilitated in us being who we are today.
Yeah, man. I mean, just starting off, when I first started, you know, seeing Bontle, I remember I was 2009. This is 2009. So we've been together officially 11 years now, 1 year of marriage, 1 year of being parents. Technically, like 2 years of being parents, because it's like
pregnancy is still,
I think should be included, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, I had the biggest crush on this girl, and like when I started seeing her, I'd pull up to her neighborhood, you know, and you know, to drop her off or to come see her. You know, sometimes steal my dad's car.
Yo!
Askis, Pops, if you're watching this, Askis, you know? At least you know, I'm so chased, I haven't crashed your car.
Hey. But it was
yeah.
also to me, that was a very big deal because I came from a home where unfortunately my dad passed away in 1997, and there was a lot that we had to do without transportation, moving around primarily Nelika taxi. So if I needed to travel to come see him, Mom, I'm so sorry, but like I would also finesse my mom. Oh, she's pooping. Oh, guys. No, let's give you your time.
Okay, sure. Guys, don't make her nervous. Shut up.
Shh, chill.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
She has the cutest pooping face.
No, she's a more little poop. Let's continue.
Ne? What's happening? Okay, so back to the story. So how we used to get around, well, how I used to get around primarily was either kapas, kapakani taxi, and so when I needed to get to his hometown, sometimes, or at least at the time, I had dance as an excuse. We were in the same crew. We were in freeze frame. Okay, so yes. So we were a part of freeze frame, and hey, a baby. So if we needed to get to practice, I would go by a taxi. So either way. So when he would drop me off, that was such a big deal. I found it super romantic. Also because I had trust issues with guys, and like I also had just a weird thing where like dating guys that drove cars was not a thing for me.
I remember.
Yeah, I preferred to date guys who didn't have cars, who would either travel via taxi or bus.
That's what you preferred, eh?
That's what I prefer.
The simple things in life, Basari. Appreciate the simple things in life. Don't let you guys want your men to have this C63 little GTI like some. How Bunja didn't want to have a guy who drove.
I really didn't want that. But whenever he wanted me to, whenever I would come over to see him, for him to make sure that I got home quite safely, he preferred that I always dropped him off. Oh, he dropped me off. And I found that hard. Then I just found it really hard. Sorry.
We're gonna change it in a bit, so So that's how this won't be too long.
So yeah, so anyway, so he would drop me off, and then every time he came and he dropped me off, oh, this guy. Okay, so my mom had this thing where she didn't like anyone who was a friend of ours. She always welcomed into our home. She wanted to get to know them, know who they are, guy, like where they're from, you know, just so that she got well acquainted with the people who were in our lives. And so what would happen is he would come over to Ronako High at the house, but he wouldn't come into the house. Like he would like park just around the corner that side, and my mom found it so funny. And
because
so,
I was also under the impression that her mom was like super strict,
yes.
you know. Turns out she's not.
Yeah,
she's like showing me and giving me the utmost amount of love and respect from the moment she met me, you know. And you know, I call her my homie because she's the mama, but she's my homie. You know
and
what
she
I'm saying?
calls him homie.
She calls me homie. You know what I mean?
I love you, Africa.
Yeah, your auntie.
Bana.
I love you, Africa.
2020, we are talking teddy bears.
Dog, you can put your voice inside a teddy bear.
Come on now.
Do you believe this thing?
Come on now.
So anyway, so we both had. Obviously, I come from a single mom home, a matriarch. I have 3 sisters. I'm not familiar with guys. I don't have a brother. I don't have a father or a male figure in our lives. So I could understand why he felt as though like my mom was like played the role of both mother and father, because that's in essence what she did. But she was very, very welcoming. It took a long time for my mother. Even now, my mom doesn't say the word boyfriend. She'll say, no, so friend, what's her name? Hey, okay, friend, where's your friend? That was always my mom, like, where's your friend? But it was always so super cute. I guess for me, the culture shock, I don't want to say culture shock, was obviously I adopted a father in my relationship.
House, house music, you find a whole CD is just one track.
Yes.
Angolan music is like that. One beat the whole night.
It's not true. It sounds the same to you. Yeah. So one song sounds the same to you.
Come again?
One song sounds the same to you. Like all the songs you know.
And Angola, they have hip hop, they have all of this.
There's no hip hop in Angola. There's no hip hop. There's no hip hop. When I say the music sounds the same, you know, music must have crescendos. Yes. Must have crescendos. It must have transformation of some sort. Different. No, they ask it. That's why even the steps don't change.
From tomorrow,
The only time they change is if they were going this way, now they are moving this way. Not for me. Now we can talk maybe about the silent music rumba, ne? This one, I was Santa Kiki Zomba.
It's a nice one.
And quite early on, immediately, somewhat, you could say, developed a really good relationship with my in-laws. You know, obviously we were still like dating at the time, but they took me in quite effortlessly. You know, didn't make life difficult for me. And I guess it was the shock, in essence, was a conversation that I would have with Priddy's mom.
So literally like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So we've been together 11 years. So 10 years ago, my mom was calling her.
Yes.
Like when I wasn't around, or like unbeknownst to me, you know, just as like, and I think that's what we should all, you know, aspire to like have. There's this thing where, you know, like in-laws don't get along with Musadi, or the you know, the husband doesn't get along with your father, or whatever, you know. And it's like very early on, like we established like a very solid relationship with each other's parents.
Yeah.
So much so that my mom could call her even when she wasn't with me, just to check up on her. And one of the things my mom said to her like 10 years ago was like, yo, disclaimer, you know, just if you guys just so happen to have a young Africa early, you know, 9 years early, she was like, yo, it's fine. Like, I'm here, I'm there to take care of the baby. Don't stress about it. Don't feel like you guys can't keep the baby. Don't be afraid to come tell us. Like, I got you. And I remember her telling me this like 9-10 years ago, and I was almost like low-key like pissed at my mom. Like, why is my mom saying that to you? You know, so early on. But it's like, you know, in hindsight, looking back at it, it's like, I think that's the ideal relationship to have, you know. And that's also what I wanted us to speak about here. It's just like how parents can actually make their children's life easier by supporting their decisions, especially decisions in the people they choose to form relationships with, be people who they choose to be their companions, their partners, their lifelong partners, because a lot of the times it's always like the father or the older brother who's giving the boyfriend a problem, and I get it, because guys are guys also, you know. So a lot of the times, you know, you just like worry, because like this guy could just be here to, you know, to hit and go type situation, you know. So you do have to like pay close attention and be cautious about it, but like also like be very open and be like willing to let them like figure their thing out, you know. They didn't really look at us as like, oh, these little, because we're young, dude, like we were straight out of high school, you know, 18, 19 years old. And they weren't looking at us like lebana, lezabang, about like lerato. In fact, like they've learned so much from the way me and her love each other and engage in our relationship, you know. So love is not about like who's been together the longest or who's the oldest. It's really about like the quality of the relationship and the respect that you guys share, you know, for each other and amongst each other, you know. So just word of advice to all the parents out there, you know, all the big bros, like, yeah, be a big bro, dog, but like also relax, you know what I'm saying? And to the parents, like, yeah, like be there, support your child, you know, because if you're there to support them and if they can be fully honest with you, then they don't ever have to be lying to you about where they're going, what they're doing, you know. Then they can be very honest. I'm going to go see Ricardo and I'm going to be there until this time. If there's going to be any issues, if I come a little late, you can call Ricardo's father, you know, and that's what would happen, you know. Sometimes Bontle would have to come, like we'd go out and, you know, or whatever, go see family members, come back home really late, and it would be like too late for me to go take her home. Or some days like it was raining like heavily,
the weather
and my
sucked.
father hated me driving at night to go drop Bontle off. And, you know, my dad would get on the phone with Bontle's mom and say, hey, this is the situation. I'm just asking for permission. Can Bontle sleep over? You know? And obviously my parents also make precautions. Like, we weren't sleeping in the same bedroom. You know, Bontle had her own room. We're in separate rooms. You know, to just respect, you know, the situation. Respect her parents also. And, yeah, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's a page that I really wanted to tear out of my parents' diary, and I loved it because what it does is it brings such a it's almost like a safety net on a whole bunch of things. Like earlier on, you touched on the fact that You don't have to lie to your parents about where you're going, who you're with, and what's going to be happening. And so in you building this trust network with people who are completely foreign to you and people who are completely unfamiliar to you, having your parents engage. And look, this is not me saying that everyone who is your boyfriend or everyone who's assigned something to you, you need to bring home. Exactly. Obviously, you respect your parents and you respect your home, and you don't want to bring just anybody in that space. But also, like, let's get then again, I'm not here to dictate who you need to be with and who you shouldn't be with. But I guess when it comes to bringing someone home, obviously you're trying to introduce your parents, even if it's not necessarily you disclosing the fact that you guys are in a relationship. I think it's always helpful for your parents to be mindful of who's around you. And if they need to know if they need to access you, if they need to find you, it's always good. Because my mom always had that thing where if you have a friend, see a number, see a address, so she knows, okay, if she can't get a hold of me, if she can't get in contact with me, she can get in contact with whoever I'm with at the time, so it's just building that trust network, and it just allows for building of relationships also between parents and child, and being quite open and honest. I know as I grew older, I could have certain conversations with my mom that I wouldn't have had when I was younger, but obviously as I've grown older, becoming a mother, becoming a parent, our conversations have become a lot open. But also I established a very good friendship with my mom also earlier on in my life. I may have been a rebel at that time or whatever, but we developed a very good relationship and a very good friendship, so much so that I could speak to her. Even in the years going into our relationship, we could speak. And so we developed the type of thing where if I needed advice, or if I needed to speak to her, or if I needed just a pillow to lay my head on, my mom's chest would always be, obviously she was older than me, she would give me some insights, and my mom also was the friend that I needed, because she was very open in letting me in on a couple of things or giving me some advice. And my mom has always been that type of gal, so it was always great for me to receive that type of stuff, and so I guess that's who I would like to be in this little girl's life and all her siblings that are to come, however many God blesses us with. Is I want us to have that type of thing where we're able to have that type of relationship with our kids, where we're able to speak to them and to be that open, and to have that type of invitation that I got quite early on to say, if you fall pregnant, I'm going to take care of that kid. It just being welcomed somewhat into a home like that. Yes, like traditionally, and so many other phases were completely not thought of in that point. But what she put precedence or what she put primarily ahead of everything else was, one, to make sure that she knew that I had a home in her home, was to also somewhat say that she trusted me enough to want to bring an extension of the family into the home, and that she wanted to embrace and love that extension of the family as if this little one is her own, which is exactly what she's done 10 years later, and they waited patiently for that. So thank you to our parents for that. But to have that type of cushioning was always great for me. I didn't have a father, you know. I lost my father when I was 6 years old at the time. And so to have earned a father through this union was incredibly important and incredibly special for me. And he has taken me in as his daughter so effortlessly, so that it was just it just made it so easy. And obviously, I guess the scariest relationship is always a relationship between the gal and the mother-in-law, you know. And so my mother-in-law is, even calling her mother-in-law is so weird, but my mom, my second mom, is she never made my life difficult, but I also made sure that me coming into that space, I showed up and I played my part. So I would do the dishes, I would clean, I would do whatever it is that I was told to do, told or not told, because now I came from a home where obviously I was domesticated, I still am, could do all the things that I needed to do. Who comes from a very respectful home, and so that's what I did, even though I was not married to him. But that was ways in which I showed up, and which I know my parents, our parents, appreciated on both sides. He did things showing up for my family in ways that they didn't necessarily ask for, but because it was just something that we did out of love and that we did out of respect for each other and for our homes. And like, we weren't just like together to just join and be happy and enjoy this thing, but we always were mindful of our families and respectful of our families, and you know, and so because we set that tone very early on in our relationship, and we've carried it right through to this point, it really has become a beautiful union and uniting of families. And so when that happened, when that blood was spilled, when the lobola was done, when we sealed the deal, it was just the most, you could hear all the angels in heaven singing, and it was really something quite special, you know, to have had parents who allowed that union to be a smoother transition. And so I want to give that to all of my children too, you know.
Beautifully said, my girl.
Thank you, baby. I also feel like I said a mouthful.
We don't want to make this one too long. We didn't want to make it too long. You know, you guys will let us know in the comment section if you guys want a part 2. There's still so much more we can share. But in this short space of time, even though it's a long video anyway, which you guys don't mind, you guys have let us know in the comment section, like, no, we want the long videos, and you know, and which we also don't mind giving them to you guys. A lot of the time, it's just also like with the editing process, like there's so many things that happen with the exporting and this and that, and like the longer the videos are, you know, sometimes the harder they can be to like edit. But otherwise, for you guys, I don't mind. You know, you don't mind. But with that being said, mad love to all of you guys. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Press the notification button. Press the bell button. And we'll be seeing you guys every single week. So I think we'll probably be uploading every Saturdays and every Friday or Saturday. Expect a drop on either Friday or Saturday. Yeah.
And just in closing, mommy, both mummies, Mamaka, well, Mama, my mom, his mom, OCD, who's also another mommy that has also raised me. Papa, thank you for being the amazing parents that you have been. We will continue to speak about you and sing your praises and give you your roses while you can still smell them. But we are the parents that we are today because of everything that you gave us. And so we don't take anything that you did lightly. Thank you for taking us in as early as you did. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your embrace. And we will continue to grow this tree, which is deeply rooted in grace, in love, and in God's favor. So thank you. We love you.
We love you guys. We love you guys also. We didn't like to you camera, but you understand, isn't it?
You get it.
Mad love to all you guys. One time, have a blessed week. Blessed festive. Please be safe on the road, guys. There's like so many accidents that, you know, I drive past on the daily. Please be safe, stay prayed up, and one love.
Whoa. How you say?
Yeah. She doesn't know who she said that to, actually. Like, yeah.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
You were so behaved. Thank you.
Goodbye.
I say him when ya. Yeah, corona ba music ke mara wa gospel ga go. But
I mean, album as a gospel, but it's very spiritual.
yeah.
I mean, the visual album, okay, everything godly.
Okay.
Everything godly yearns patience and time, which means
That's right.
You know, some that are meant to happen. Change in his own time. So that's really what the album is about.
most of the people they get tired of praying because babatla dintho tsa bone di etsagale instantly. But with God it's not like that. I get if it's the plan of God, you can pray to do today, tomorrow, but it's not because you prayed. It's because it can take 10 years, even more, before yeah, that's how God is. So you've got to be patient. When now rapid.
Sure, Baba. Just be safe. I'm now at the offices. So I'm just
no, I understand. Take it easy, Papa. I don't think, I hope this doesn't really negatively affect you. And that's what I've always been wanting to do. When things affect that, they must not really affect you. In any way, including me. And I thought I'd be able to see to graduate in London. It doesn't look like that is possible. But anyway, that's fine.
We'll work things out, Baba. Talk later.
They used to think we couldn't do it, then we did it. We used to dream about it, pussy, now we in it. And we weren't even trying to race, and now we winning. I'm only human, Lord, forgive me for my sinning. I had to keep my focus when the world was spinning. I had to learn to get it, it was never given. Hardly sober, trying to balance my decisions. The party's over, still got Henny in my system. From the start, I just been working on my finish. Out of shape, I should be working on my fitness. Getting here, but got my mind on my business. And I ain't saw the Uncle Brian in a minute. I never saw my cousin when he went to prison. An eagle in the cage and nothing but a pigeon. Now I'm the one that's out here feeling like a villain. Before I had a win, I was always willing. I never had a whip, but I was always driven. Remember days when all I wanted was a missing. Now in a whip, it don't even got a ceiling. I've been a diamond, I just had to learn to glisten. Before you talk, you really gotta learn to listen. I'm getting older, contemplating my religion. I got spirit, doesn't matter if I'm Christian. See, money's great, but I would rather have ambition. Your favorite rapper's a chicken, I'm whipping in the kitchen. I'm on a mission, and the vision is too efficient. And now we moving different. Dudes need assistance, been facing friction, still no resistance. I got a vision.